It stopped on a dime, turned a really bright orange. I mean, the brightest orange without turning yellow you can imagine. Then continued to draw out a perfect triangle. And I didn't give detail the last time I recounted just how big this triangle was. If you were to look at the Big Dipper, and I use it as reference just because it was in the sky that night, go from the top of the Big Dipper to the bottom of it, equal sides to either whatever side you want to pick, is the size of the triangle it drew out at 10 times at the very least the speed that we initially seen it and thought it was a shooting star. Did it perfectly 3 times, stopping each time at 3 points. Then slowly, just once it got to the top of the triangle per se, it slowly fizzled out, kind of like a candle. Just kind of stared for a second, and everybody just kind of looked at each other. We talked for 10 seconds asking, what exactly the hell was that? We noticed one of our friends is still staring at that point in the sky. We were like, hey, man, what do you think about it? He's still staring at it. We call his name. He doesn't answer. Finally, somebody nudged him, and he kind of just popped to. And we were like, hey, man, you're all right. He said, I got to go home. And just without further notice, just got in the car and left. We all sat around for probably another 30 minutes just talking, obviously, about what we had just seen. Everybody went home. I went to bed. Middle of the night, the only thing I can think of was a nightmare at the time. The nightmare is that I'm sitting or standing in the same spot in my driveway, staring at that triangle being drawn out in the sky, except my friends aren't there. There's a really tall, 7 foot, if I had to say, thing beside me and asked me for details every time. And I've had this dream since. And it's an overwhelming, that's why I call it a nightmare. It's an overwhelming sense of dread. At the beginning of this year, I started having that same dream again. And every time I have this dream, worst things you could possibly humans doing, is what this dream gives me. Government's involved. Sorry, I don't believe anything they say anyways. Other foreign nations know, yes. And everybody can guess there's a hierarchy that comes with that. And of course, the United States is going to have that. As far as what it came out today about certain people being silenced, being killed because of it, oh yeah,